more criminals are moving to online fraud, telephone fraud and mail scams, simply because it is more difficult for the police to detect these. Quite often where telephone scams are perpetrated and online scams, the fraud has actually been committed in Africa or Eastern Bloc countries, for instance. There are many scams where banks can be used as a front for perpetrating the fraud.
Criminals involved in this type of activity are very well organised, they're very professional and they're very well trained. So scams are developing all the time and we're learning of new ones each day. The three main ones just now involve contact, cold calling by telephone, email or letter. The ultimate purpose of each of them is to get either your personal details or in some cases to actually get your card in order they can empty your bank account or your savings accounts of money. In relation to the scams, we've been working very closely with the banks, in particular with RBS. We've had awareness raising sessions with staff. It's ourselves and the police carry these out. The rest of the day we have a stand and we provide advice and guidance to customers, and that in itself has proved very useful as well. Customers are coming to us and letting us know some of the approaches that they've had from the criminals, and they're actually engaging more with the bank if they've had what they think is dubious correspondence from the bank.
We know that there has been too many occasions where customers have had conversations with us around scams that have happened to them, and that can range from letters that are coming in saying they've won the lottery, which in effect when you ask the next question, do you actually do the lottery? No, I don't. Or it's customers coming in that want to maybe transfer funds, and then when we ask the next question, and it could just be a simple thing, why is it you want to do that? Can you explain a wee bit more about it? And then that's when we found out that it's not actually been as what it seemed.
There was recently an incident within the local area where an elderly person was contacted by telephone. They were thereafter told that their bank account had been compromised and was unsafe. Thankfully, due to the training we'd carried out recently with Trading Standards and the Royal Bank of Scotland staff, the teller who was engaging with this customer was able to identify that this was possibly fraudulent and advise a customer of such, and contacted Trading Standards and police.
What the customer had said was they had told her that there had been fraudulent transactions taking place on her account and that it was imminent that she closed these accounts and transferred them all to a new account which they were willing to set up for her. The customer herself did think this is strange to do this over the phone, so did ask if she could have a contact number to call them back. As we know, this is what they're doing because the customer is putting the phone down, however the criminals are not. So when the customer did ring the number back, they were still on the other end of the phone. So right away she thought, oh, this is the right number, which in this case it wasn't. However, luckily enough, she didn't give any more details. Her husband did come into the branch. I called the number, immediately discovered that this was definitely not the Royal Bank, so my suspicions were confirmed. This is organised crime, and obviously they know what they're doing, and they do have specific details on the customers, and they tend to go on to vulnerable customers who they think could be maybe elderly, who they think do have lots more money. But luckily enough, that customer did show a bit of concern, came into the branch, and we followed up on it.
We have such a thing as what we call a yes check. So we use this leaflet to refer to that during our conversations with our customers, which basically allows us to kind of do a sense check on any situation we think is maybe not quite right. The staff know that it's the right thing to do that because we need to make sure that if they have got that gut instinct that there is something not quite right, they will use that conversation to speak to the customers.
The RBS has been very good in that they send notification out to all the branches every week, and the branches themselves are aware they can contact ourselves to the police directly, and we will come out and carry out awareness raising sessions with staff and speak to customers there. So we've got a number lined up and we will be putting them on our Facebook page and out on Twitter.
If you're contacted in any way and have any doubts whatsoever, you can get advice from Trading Standards or from the police by calling 101.